Disclaimer. The video serves informational and entertainment purpose only. The content is considered speculative and should not be treated as confirmed fact. We encourage you to conduct your research and form your conclusion.
$200 million. That's how much Marvel quietly flushed into the abyss for a show they didn't even have the guts to promote. No trailer build-up, no cast interviews, no press tour. Just a cold, quiet dump of 6 episodes on Disney Plus, like radioactive waste they hoped no one would notice. And no one did. Not the fans, not the critics, not even the MCU diehards. Ironheart didn't just flop, it disappeared, like it never existed. No trending hashtags, no buzz, not even review bombs, just silence. The kind of silence that screams. But now, Dominique Thorne has broken that silence, and she's blaming the audience. She claims the backlash isn't about writing, directing, or storytelling. It's about race, about identity, about you. This isn't just a story about a failed show. This is about the moment Marvel's mask slipped. About what happens when branding replaces storytelling, when criticism becomes hate speech, and when $200 million buys nothing. Welcome to the rise and fall of Ironheart. And trust me, it gets worse.
One major development going on now involves more to do with Dominique Thorne going off at the fans yet again in the midst of the Ironheart ratings disaster. Now, Thorne delivered the following in a desperate play to salvage the series. I think Marvel fans, she says, just need to take a step back and to stop focusing on our support for both diversity and LGBTQ and claiming that as some form of a hidden message.
Going out there from the media that you are just a racist if you don't like Ironheart. The reason it's getting this backlash, the reason it's getting bad reviews, the reason that fans don't like what they see, it's just because all the damn racists out there, Jay.
Natalie AI thing seems utterly preposterous and ridiculous, and even for an MCU show, I'm finding it to be a little bit of a bridge too far to go. The Heist crew, all lame. Every single one of them, all lame.
Let's talk numbers, or rather, the lack of them. Ironheart's launch was so stealthy it felt more like a cover-up than a premiere. 3 episodes dropped on a random Tuesday. The other 3, exactly a week later. No countdowns, no social posts, no red carpet. Just 6 episodes released into the void. Why? Because Marvel knew what they had. This wasn't a misunderstood masterpiece. This was a stitched-together disaster sitting on a shelf for 2 years, constantly reworked behind the scenes until the executives said, just dump it. And they did. But it didn't just flop. It vanished. Luminate charts? 0. Nielsen rankings? Missing. Not even puffed-up Disney stats. It's as if the show never existed. Not even hate watchers showed up. Marvel spent Secret Invasion-level money on a project that made less noise than a TikTok makeup tutorial. That's not failure. That's erasure. And the silence? It speaks volumes.
Does it defy the haters? Or is it another skippable series? It's always about you, right? It's always about the audience. It's amazing. It doesn't matter if it's the 2024 election or whether it's a Disney streaming product. It's always about how evil is the actual voters? How evil are the audience?
There is no doubt about it that the Ironheart series is definitely by far the worst creation by the Marvel Cinematic Universe, by Marvel Studios and the Disney company for obvious reasons. We all know that there's an agenda and there's a lot of messaging behind this show, but one thing is for certain about this series is that all agendas aside, let's be very real about this. There's a lack of character development. The directing, the producing, the writing is just way off. It makes no sense at all, and it's very lackluster. There's no depth.
With Ironheart's numbers sinking below sea level, the PR meltdown wasn't far behind. Dominique Thorne, Marvel's new face of genius, didn't hold back. In a desperate press quote, she said fans need to stop calling out the diversity, the LGBTQ themes, the social commentary. According to her, the backlash wasn't about quality, it was just racism. She said, quote, I think Marvel fans just need to stop focusing on our support for diversity and LGBTQ as some hidden agenda. Translation? If you didn't like Ironheart, you must be a bigot. And that's the playbook now, isn't it? When the writing fails, when the characters fall flat, when the story lacks heart, blame the fans. But here's the truth. People aren't rejecting diversity. They're rejecting shallow, checkbox-driven characters who feel like slogans, not people. Riri Williams wasn't under attack because of her race. She was underwhelming because she was poorly written, emotionally flat, and handed the keys to Tony Stark's legacy without earning it. That's not hate, that's honesty. And if Marvel can't handle that, they're not ready for the audience they built. Riri Williams. On paper, she sounded like a modern icon. Young, brilliant, black female engineer, a self-made hero, the future of the MCU. So why did it all fall apart? Because Ironheart was built on blueprints, not heart. Marvel mistook identity for identity development. They created a character with all the buzzwords and none of the humanity. No flaws, no struggle, no sacrifice. And by the finale, she literally makes a deal with Mephisto, Marvel's version of the devil. That's not growth. That's a plot twist made for TikTok clips. Her team? Lame. The villain? Forgettable. The stakes? Non-existent. Even the action sequences felt like leftover CGI from Secret Invasion. And that's saying something. Tony Stark had pain, sacrifice, arcs. Riri? She ordered DoorDash in the middle of a global threat. Marvel wanted her to be the next Iron Man, but forgot the one thing that made Iron Man iconic: soul. And that absence? Audiences felt it.
Right now is that we know that Kevin Feige and Bob Iger, they're also engaging in damage control about this show, saying things like, don't trust the negative reviews, don't trust the trades, stuff like that. And they're doing everything in their power to really prop up this show. That's exactly why they had RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., some weeks ago going on talk shows to really say that Riri is the best thing to the MCU to represent the legacy of Tony Stark. They have Dominique Thorne, going out there talking about DEI, LGBTQ rights, and how there's no agenda there, and she continues to do so. But the other thing is that they also had Robert Downey Jr., and they had him roll out and really kind of prop the show up and prop the character of Riri Williams up above Tony Stark.
After Ironheart dropped and the backlash started to mount, something strange happened. Negative reviews began vanishing. 1 stars disappeared. Comments scrubbed, like a digital crime scene being sanitized. Sound familiar? This is the same tactic Disney used after The Acolyte, after The Marvels, after every recent flop. Instead of addressing the criticism, they silence it. Instead of owning the failure, they manipulate the optics. Even after the cleanup, Ironheart still sat at 4.2 on IMDb. That puts it in the same graveyard as Eternals and Echo. Not exactly elite company. Marvel used to embrace fan feedback. Now they erase it. And the audience? They're not stupid. They know when they're being gaslit. Because if a show's good, it speaks for itself. Ironheart? It didn't speak. It apologized for existing.
When you look at through these charts, the first couple days it was out, because we have 3 days of Ironheart in these numbers, just like we had 3 days of Daredevil in these numbers. And Daredevil in those first 3 days had over 300 million minutes watched. And that was with less possible runtime than something like Ironheart.
So what now? Will there be a season 2? According to the showrunner, only if fans demand it. Spoiler alert, they won't. Ironheart didn't just fail. It failed quietly. That's worse. No hate watch buzz, no discourse, no memes, no movement. Even Disney's PR machine has gone silent. No ratings released. No record engagement press blurbs. Nothing. Compare that to how fast they bragged about The Acolyte or Agatha. If there were good numbers, we'd already know them. Instead, Disney and Marvel have buried Ironheart beneath a blanket of silence, hoping we forget, hoping you forget. But audiences remember. Not just the failure, the insult, the idea that we should love a show simply because of what it represents, not what it delivers. This wasn't about representation. It was about expectation. And Marvel didn't meet it. No amount of hashtags or talking points can save a story without a soul. And if Marvel thinks they can still revive this character in Secret Wars or spin her into another team up, well, good luck. Because audiences have moved on, and Ironheart was never really there to begin with.